Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Gabe with Indigo Software, genuine Microsoft software for less. So in today's video, we're gonna go over the basics of Microsoft PowerPoint in just 10 minutes to help you guys better understand how to maximize efficiency and how to get started with Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, if you wanna pick up your own copy of Microsoft Office, check out Indigo Software, links in the description. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm currently on Mac OS using Microsoft PowerPoint from Office 2021. Now, if that's not the case for you, this video is still going to be extremely applicable as the navigation for PowerPoint is virtually the same on most of the recent versions as well as different operating systems. So first, I'm going to head to my Finder and navigate to Applications, and we're going to double click Microsoft PowerPoint to open it up. Now, when you first open up PowerPoint, the first thing that you're going to notice is a variety of themes to choose from. So you have some very basic themes right here. We could also click more themes to scroll through a few more. Or if you're specifically looking for something else, you can search in this little search box right here. For the sake of demonstration, we're gonna start on a blank presentation. We double click that and here is what we see. So once you get into this workspace, I'm gonna enter full screen here. You're gonna see a variety of different tabs: Home, Insert, Draw, and so on. Now the contents of each tab is called a ribbon. So this whole area here is the ribbon for the Insert tab. So as you can see, we have a slide group, we have pictures, add-ins, shapes and icons, and these are all kind of grouped together. They're all very similar things. So it's just important to kind of understand some of that basic terminology. And as you're navigating through these different groups and tools, you'll notice these little drop-down menus. You'll have these underneath certain things, and it basically just elaborates or expands upon what it says in this little box here, mainly because they just couldn't fit everything to where you can see it immediately. Again, you have these little drop downs and they just open up more options based on this initial category. Now, another thing you're gonna notice is that we have a little navigation section to the left here. So this slide that's highlighted here is the slide that I'm currently editing. And since we're on slide 1, this is intended to be the title section of your presentation. So we're gonna add a title. And all I did was just click into that text box right here and it pulls up the cursor so that I can begin typing. And we're gonna call this 10 Steps to Cinematic Composition. For the subtitle, we'll put Cinematography Lesson. Now, we could leave this as is, but it looks very bland and it doesn't look very interesting. So we're gonna navigate over to the Design tab, and now I can choose a theme. Now, what's cool about this is these themes can be changed at any time during the creative process of your presentation. So if you're moving on to different slides and you wanna change up the look, you can simply just select a different one. So I really like the look of this celestial one, but this is gonna be subjective and entirely up to you. Now, the next thing I wanna do is add a new slide where I can start to add some information. So if I navigate to the Home tab, so I'm gonna click New Slide. Before I do that, there's a little drop-down menu next to that. Now this is gonna give you some different content options for what you want this slide to look like. But in this case, I'm just gonna click on New Slide. And now I'm gonna click into the body paragraph. Again, I just click into the text box to allow me to start typing. And this is automatically gonna have bullet points separated by enter. So let's go ahead and start filling this out. Now, one way to really convey your message in a more meaningful way is to use visuals. So if we move over to the Insert tab, here we can insert pictures or shapes or icons, but in most cases, I think a picture is gonna be really relevant. And there's a variety of different things I can insert here, but I would like to insert some images. So underneath pictures, we'll click on this. And you can select any of these options, but a very convenient option is online pictures, where we can just search the web for pictures that would make sense in this slide. So we'll click that. And I'm gonna search for Rembrandt lighting. And this picture pretty much perfectly conveys what I would want to speak about. So we'll insert that. And now if I click once on it, it's gonna bring up the text box. And you can easily edit this by resizing it. So if I grab one of the corners, this will keep it at the same aspect ratio and just make it bigger or smaller. Any of these middle ones will distort the image. And if you don't want to distort the image, let's say you did this by mistake, there's an undo button here at the top. Or you can press the keybind Command-Z on Mac or Control-Z on Windows. And that will really speed up your process if you get used to using some of those keybinds. So we'll resize this and we're gonna put it next to Rembrandt lighting. Now these are pretty close together, and if I want to use pictures, I kind of want them to be more separated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. Sorry, I'm going to click on line spacing, and we're going to go with 2.5. Actually, let's go all the way to 3, and that looks pretty good. So we'll have this picture here next to this. Now let's say I want to preview this presentation to see how it looks like if I were to leave this as is. I'm going to go down to the very bottom, and I'm going to press this button right here, which is slideshow. And now once I'm here, there's a couple ways to navigate between slides. We can use up and down arrows. We can also use left and right arrows. We can also use enter, and we can also use space. So just a couple options to quickly bounce between those slides or go back to the previous slide. Very helpful to know. And once we're done kind of looking at this and we want to go back to editing, we're going to press the escape key, top left of our keyboard, and it'll bring us back to edit mode. And let's say I wanted to have some text over here on the right side. We're going to go back to the insert tab, and we're going to select text box. If I wanted to add another 4 bullets, this would be a quick and easy way to do that, but I'm completely fine with leaving it as is, so we'll move on for right now. Now another common thing that can really help to push these visuals is to add a little bit of animation. So here I'm going to go to the animations tab, and everything is grayed out. It's not going to let me press anything, and that's simply because I just need to select what I want to animate. You can select a text box, or you can select an image. In this case, I'm going to select the image, and I'm going to select the simple appear animation. Generally speaking, you want this to be subtle. You don't really want it to jar your audience. Appear or fade in are really good options for that. So we'll select appear, and I'm just going to repeat the process down the line. And then towards the top right over here, you can actually edit kind of what starts your animation. And you have a couple options, so you can play with those. With previous would mean you can see this is labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I did that for 2, 3, and 4, these would all animate according to when number 1 animates. So I hope that makes sense. So basically what I would do from this point is I would continue to develop this presentation. I would go through all the 10 steps of cinematography, and I would have my slideshow. And before you finish with your presentation, or before you close out of this, you want to make sure that you can save it. So this is the File tab. This is separate from the tabs within Microsoft PowerPoint. These are your computer tabs. So with PowerPoint, I'm going to select File, and you'll have a bunch of different options here. You can look through those if any of them are applicable to you. But we're going to use Save As, and this is going to save a PowerPoint file on our computer so that we can either present the PowerPoint later or we can continue to work on it later. So with Save As, we're going to choose Where, and I'm going to keep this simple and choose Documents. And then we're going to name this 10 Steps to Cinematic Composition. Composition, cool. And then we're going to leave the rest of this default. This .pptx is a Microsoft PowerPoint file. So upon double clicking this file, it would bring you right back here, and we'll simply click Save. All right, so that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed and found this useful. Again, if you want to pick up a copy of Microsoft Office or other software, be sure to check out Indigo software. Links in the description. You can save a lot of money. If you enjoy the video, we always appreciate a comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.